Hey, this is Ryan from the Fargonauts. Today we have a brand new show for you, the Snubby Awards. Basically what this is I'm going to take a look at all of the Best Picture nominees from a given year, analyze all of them, and determine whether or not if a certain film got snubbed. A certain film should have won Best Picture over the true winner. If I determine there is one, they will win the coveted Snubby Award. The Snubby. Isn't it beautiful? I went and found the weirdest trophy I could find online for under $15, and this was it. And so if I determine there is, in fact, a film that was snubbed for the Best Picture, the director of that film will win the Snubby. Today I'm going to be looking at the most recent Oscar Awards, 2017. We have 9 films to look at. The winner was Moonlight. Did Moonlight deserve it? Did someone get snubbed? We'll find out. 9 movies, from worst to best. And finally we'll get to our top 2. And from there, I'll tell you who will win the Snubby. 9th place, Arrival, which is a sci-fi movie, but not an action one, you know. It's called the Thinking Man sci-fi movie. Very popular movie, unfortunately, because it's absolutely terrible. Now, I know people are going to get on my ass and say, Ryan, you just didn't understand it. No, I understood it. Here was the problem with Arrival. The one major flaw. Amy Adams, who is the lead character, is a horrible human being, and the movie fails to address that. I could go on and on about this, like all day long, but if you watch The Arrival again, and really think about Amy Adams' motivation, she is a terrible person, and the movie fails to address that. They kind of treat her like a hero. She's no hero. The rest of the movie is pretty good. You know, the story is interesting until the end. It gets kind of bleh. You know, it's got some cool stuff and some neat ideas, but it's not a very good movie, and I can't believe it was nominated for Best Picture. 3 out of 10. 8th place, Lion. Now, don't get me wrong, I like Lion. You know, there's a big gap between Arrival and Lion. Lion had a lot of good moments. Anybody who knows me can tell you I don't like kid actors in movies. They're rarely good. Very, very rarely. Lion is the exception because we see this story 2 different times. We see it through the kid's eyes and the adult eyes of the main character. I thought I was going to hate the stuff with the kid. No, that's the good stuff. The first act of the movie is entirely from the kid's perspective, and it is haunting, scary, intense, really well done. Once he grows up, it gets kind of boring for a while. The entire second act is like kind of a snooze fest, I want to say. But then it picks up again in the third act when we return to India, which is where the first act takes place, and then it gets good again. So I love the first act, I love the third act. The second act is not good. So 7 out of 10. 7th place, Fences, which is a story about Denzel Washington and Viola Davis and kind of their struggles in their marriage and their lives. They're a poor black family in the 1950s. It's the story of their family. It was a stage play first. Now, the performances in Fences are amazing. And that's kind of what the focus of the movie is. It's about the performances. And it feels like a stage play turned into a movie. That's not really a good thing because what we're looking for here is Best Picture. Now, don't get me wrong, Fences was great, but felt more like a stage play than a movie, and that's not good. Don't get me wrong, the movie is very good, but it is not Best Picture worthy. 8 out of 10. Alright, 6th place, Hidden Figures. I wasn't expecting much from this movie because it came out in January, and then all of a sudden it was nominated for an Oscar, and I was like, whoa, okay, I misjudged. Let's check it out. And I really enjoyed it. I really did. I thought the characters were very interesting. I thought the story was interesting. It's a movie about black women and working with NASA and kind of telling the story of what black women did to help with the space race. And it was all true story. And you know, this is not something I learned in school. You know, this is unfortunately just not talked about. And I think it's very cool that they're bringing this story to surface. I thought the performances were great, especially for the lead, Taraji P. Henson. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. I think she was robbed for a nomination for Best Actress. She was incredible. Just all around awesome performances, a really, really, really solid story and well executed film. Now we're talking Best Picture nominees here. This is where it gets difficult. Unfortunately, everything that I haven't mentioned yet was better, but it was close. Even though Hidden Figures got 6th place, it's still a 9 out of 10. This is what the Best Picture nominee should be. It's got to be close. These are our best pictures. Damn good. 5th place, Manchester by the Sea, aka Sad Affleck the movie. Oh my god. This movie will make you cry. The movie is about Casey Affleck's character who has to return to his hometown when his brother dies. He's already had a really tragic life. I'm not going to give spoilers, but it's a gut punch when you find out what happened to him. The whole movie just makes you feel so sad. And the movie is carried by Casey's performance. He's phenomenal and he totally deserved to win Best Actor. 9 out of 10 for Manchester by the Sea for Casey's performance alone, and the rest of the movie is still solid too. 4th place, Moonlight. Psych, it's La La Land. I reversed it to see what I did, but for reals, 4th place is La La Land. The music's amazing, the performances are solid. I didn't really love the ending of the movie the first time I saw it, but I liked it more on the rewatch. I think all in all, a solid film. A little bit overrated, but still really solid. 4th place, 9 out of 10. 3rd place, Hell or High Water. Probably one of the lesser known films. It's a shame because it's incredible. It's a modern day Western about 2 brothers, Chris Pine and Ben Foster, who are robbing banks. Jeff Bridges' character, who's a U.S. Marshal trying to catch him. It's really a modern day Western. You know, you could take the plot of this movie and put it 150 years back and it would still work. That's kind of the cool thing, is it's a modern day Western. You know, really good performances, really dynamic characters, really solid film. It's a shame more people haven't seen it. Go watch it. 9 out of 10. Now here's where we get to the final 2. Both of these movies are a 10 out of 10 for me. So really, it's a game of inches. Like this is close. But the 2 films I'm talking about are Hacksaw Ridge and the movie that did win Best Picture, Moonlight. Will Hacksaw Ridge win the Snubby? Or will no one win the Snubby? Let's find out. Let's talk about them. Alright, Hacksaw Ridge. It's a story of a man who enlisted in the military during World War II. But he has some very crazy religious convictions, and he is opposed to violence. He doesn't want to hold a weapon. And it's the first half of the movie is kind of about him trying to get through training and all the conflict he runs into because he won't hold a gun. He won't do it. He won't fire it, you know, and he's getting into trouble. He wants to help. He wants to be a medic. He's well trained, but he refuses to hold any weapons. He doesn't want to kill anybody. We already have an interesting character, interesting story, but then we actually go into battle, and those war scenes are incredibly well shot. The whole thing is amazing. And the best part is it's a true story. Like, I did some research on the guy, and the movie's fairly accurate. In fact, they had more badass stuff this dude did, saving tons of lives. They couldn't put it all in here. So they condense it into like a 2-day period. They make it seem like the battle he's in was a 2-day thing. He was serving over like 2 weeks. You know, there was more battles that he served in that we didn't even touch. This guy is a true hero. He saved countless lives, and he's, you know, just super religious guy. Kind of movie normally is my cup of tea. I'm not big on religious movies, but oh man, this character just captured my attention. Andrew Garfield, and the dilemmas and the conflict he faces are really just fascinating to watch. And then when we finally get to the battle scenes, they're intense, horrifying. You know, real comeback from Mel Gibson. This is a really well done movie. Well done though. I gotta give it to you. This is a great movie. 10 out of 10. Then Moonlight. Moonlight is also incredible. More on the performances, and it's really just a story. It's a story of a man, a black man, who also happens to be gay. And he kind of grows up in a terrible neighborhood in Florida, I believe, Miami. It's kind of, you know, the story is in 3 parts. First, when he's a very young kid. Second, when he's in high school. And the third, when he's an adult. We get to see his character arc through 3 different actors, which is pretty cool. And the performances are pretty in sync. The grown-up part of the story, at first I'm like, oh, this character, he's changed so much, he doesn't feel like the other 2. And then something happens. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but something happens, changes him, and all of a sudden he's back to the way he was in the first 2 parts. And it's just like, oh wow, they got this in sync. That's pretty incredible. And that is the strength of this story. We have a really excellent arc told by 3 different actors playing the same character, which is phenomenal. And the other part, I think, why this movie got so much attention is that it's a story that hasn't been told. I can't name any other movies about a black gay character. I can't think of any. And they take the story so seriously, and the struggles and the problems that this character has to go through. And they handle it so well. And it's so interesting. And the movie flies by. It's just like, oh, wow, that was a lot. So Moonlight is a phenomenal movie. And the most important movie I think that was made this year. Which doesn't necessarily mean it's Best Picture. But I think it was the most important story to tell. Even if I give the Snubby to Hacksaw Ridge, I'm not too upset that Moonlight won Best Picture, because that was a very important story and it was still a masterclass film. Remember, we're looking at Best Picture. That means everything. You know, the effects, the cinematography, the direction, the writing, the acting. It's not just one thing. It's everything. So, the Snubby Award goes to Hacksaw Ridge. It's got everything. It's got effects and cinematography that Moonlight just didn't do. And the battle scenes were just so amazing and so well done and just so impressive that I gotta give to Hacksaw Ridge. You know, it's a game of inches, and I don't want to be called homophobic or racist or anything, because let me be clear, I think Moonlight is incredible. I really do, and I do think it is the more important story. I think Hacksaw Ridge is a slightly better made movie, and that is the criteria I'm giving this out on. So, you know, if you need to make some comments in the video about how I suck, you know, go ahead, but I just wanted to be clear, Moonlight is incredible. And I'm not upset that it won Best Picture. But I think Hacksaw Ridge is slightly superior movie. Without further ado, the Snubby goes to Hacksaw Ridge. Mel Gibson, give me a call. You can find me at Taco Bell most times. You know, just drop by and I can give you this. You know, it costs $15, so I mean, you can pay me back or not, you know, whatever. But yeah, Mel, give me a call. That's all yours. Next time we're going to do the 2016 Oscars. We're going to go back and see who got snubbed. I'm Ryan Stacy. This has been the Snubby Awards. I'll see you next time.